Greetings from Southern California. You have joined the Social Blade Show, where we slice through social media and how it affects the rest of the universe. I'm your host, JD Rucker. I am joined today by our illustrious entire crew. We have a full crew today with nobody missing. We have, as you can see on your screen, up in the left corner, the lovely Erin Ryan. Say hi, Erin.
Hey, I'm Erin Ryan for you tour 2. I'm also in Newfoundland, Canada.
Very good. And to her right about there, we have Patrick.
Say hi, everybody. How you doing this evening? Thanks for joining the show.
Patrick, where are you?
Pet him. I'm in my office. I'm being petted right on the head right there. Don't touch the soft spot. I never recover from that.
Dropping down to the bottom left corner, we have our extra special gentleman for the first time on camera here on the Social Blade Show, Victor, the man Barrera.
What's up, everybody? My name is Victor Barrera, better known as VT Barrera, across some various social media sites, and it's good to be on the line with the best crew in the business.
Who's that? Okay, and then off to the right, Victor's right, we have Urgo, who is in New York for the last time broadcasting live.
That's right. I apologize for the mess if you see behind me here. I'm in the process of packing everything up. A week from today, at this time, I should be down in North Carolina, and the next day, I'll be all moved into my new place. So, yeah. Urgo, Jason, First Dig, how's it going?
Looks like you've already got your deposit back. Not worried about it at this point, huh?
Yeah.
He'll be trashing in here soon. Again, it seems to happen every single week. It's just been a huge week in social media. We have a few stories. We're going to cover a few headlines first, but before we do that, I'd like to bring up our sponsor. Today's show is sponsored by Oklahoma. Oklahoma is a state in the United States. It is it's a relatively big state. There's not a lot of people there, but there's a lot of other things, cows.
It's an okay state.
It's okay.
I got a Twitter friend from Oklahoma. True story. Really? I'm not kidding.
Nice.
You mean out of your 10,000 Twitter friends, one of them is at least from Oklahoma? It's amazing.
One of them's from Oklahoma. Well, one of them that'll talk to me. Yeah.
For those who don't know, I am actually from Oklahoma. I am not an original Cali guy. I'm an Okie at heart. So that is why I do have my Oklahoma cup of coffee that I carry with me everywhere. I hang it around my neck whenever I go anywhere. So anyway, we're going to jump right straight into the stories because we've got a jam-packed show. First and foremost, Facebook can threaten relationships, the study says. A Canadian report finds that postings in the social... Oh, you guys can see me. You can't see the... Bad cameraman. Bad cameraman. Hold on. Here we go with the... There's a good cameraman. All right. Facebook can threaten relationships, study says. A Canadian report finds that postings on the social network site can trigger escalating feelings of jealousy between romantically involved individuals. That comes to you from the Chicago Tribune. Hopefully we'll have time to talk about that because that just sounds interesting as heck. Big news this week, something that pretty much dominated a lot of social media, is that Facebook paid nearly $50 million for Friendfeed. Friendfeed being the live streaming, the sort of like Twitter, but with a lot more functionality aspect of things. And that one we will definitely talk about, I'm sure, as soon as we get past our main story, because that's a big one. YouTube, now bigger than MSN. Not that MSN was that big in the first place, but YouTube is now bigger. So that's good. And this one, I don't know if this is news or not, but it made for a great segue because Digg is on a roll. They've been moving up in the rankings, getting a lot more visitors. That we will probably talk about as we talk about our primary and main story. But first, I would love for Patrick to introduce our illustrious and wonderful guest this evening.
Well, our guest for the night has many hats, you might say, but what he wants to talk about tonight is a new site that he's putting on with himself, Greg Davies, and Brian Hill, among others, and we'll let Silent J 74 tell us all about it. Mr. Joe Fowler. How you doing, Joe?
It's still
Hey guys,
Jay.
what's going on?
Hey.
Hey Joe, what's up?
I do have a question.
Not much.
Is it Joe
Yes,
or
sir.
Jay? Just curious.
Well, everybody sees my IM traffic as Joe Fowler 3. My dad's actually Joe, and I've always been Jay, so, it's just the way that kind of dumped in there. I should have just stuck with jfowler@gmail.com whenever I started shooting out my emails and getting into social media, but hey, my screw up, but everybody calls me Jay, so that's how
Okay, excellent.
that's how that played out.
So, I'm sorry. So, what was the answer? Is it Jay or Joe? I missed it.
It's Jay.
Okay.
All right, we do have it properly coded here. Then that's our tech
Right.
department was able to get your name right. Just making certain. All right, and that is him live
Pixelated
and much
geeks in there
closer.
going, J-O.
Jay.
We got any more wives in the box over there?
Well, it's good that Jay's here. Jay, along with the rest of us, is a quality and excellent finder of content. Not to say that we're all great finders of content, but he does post stories to social media sites, including Digg. And the primary thing that we wanted to talk about tonight, or at least the first story, the first big story, was that tonight was the Digg Townhall. Jay,
Right.
Adelson, Kevin Rose, they have these approximately quarterly, where they get together and they ask questions of the community, and they take time out to answer these questions directly. Jason, I believe, has a list of the questions. I'd love to get Jay's opinion as well as everyone else's opinion on what was said. Did they cover it properly? And basically, was it a good town hall? There have been complaints about past ones being bad and some present ones being good, or something to that effect. So here is Jason as he resizes himself.
Sorry. Yeah, I guess really one of the main things that they did on tonight's town hall was they were talking about the new Digg ad system that we covered a little bit last week. But one of the interesting questions that came from that was related to specifically commenting on ads. What someone was asking was, are you able to actually, will you be able to sometime in the future leave comments on the ads? And according to them, that is something they're working on. So I don't know. What do you guys think about being able to do that?
Victor?
The Digg, Kevin and Jay mentioned that, it's going to be this great feature. But the thing is, Reddit's been doing that for a very long time.
That's what I was
Ever since they instituted the ability to Reddit and add, users can comment on it. It seemed like pretty default. So the fact that they're treating it like it's something extra, that they're adding into their whole new sponsored front pages, I don't know. So
that actually was what I was thinking when I listened to it, but I don't really use Reddit much, so I couldn't remember for sure if they did that. But then that means that what they were saying on the broadcast was they were going to be the first ones to do that, which I guess wasn't actually true.
yeah, pretty much.
How does it work on Reddit? I mean, do people actually use it, and like what type of feedback have they gotten? Do you know?
It's kind of a mixed bag. It really depends. I've seen some ads that are just kind of pretty standard, not very flashy, doesn't really present anything tasty content-wise, and they get Reddited and downvoted, and people comment and say this one sucks, and next thing you know, you won't see it in the next few weeks. But I have seen some ads where they've been used by content creators. For instance, XKCD has a sponsored Reddit ad that's gotten a lot of comments, a lot of upvotes, because it's promoting things like deals on T-shirts and whatnot. And so that the Reddit crowd responded like, hey, they upvoted the ad, they got over this many comments and this much traffic through the link to buy their T-shirts, and it works. So I think that just because people with Digg in the future will be able to get free, not free, but sponsored front pages and don't have to put so much guesswork into the content, those are the ads that are going to get buried and consequentially are going to cost a lot more. Whereas if I think businesses take the approach where, hey, let's make a tasty piece of content, let it get an automatic front page via sponsored ad, then people might be more inclined to dig it up, more inclined to positively comment on it. So I think the whole commenting on the ads thing really plays into whether or not ads are going to be successful via sponsored front pages in the future.
Patrick?
Well, I mean, I really don't have feeling about it. I think I knew that they were going to do ads for a while, and I know what the reason behind it is all about the money, and I have no problem with that. Do I think it's a good idea? Yeah, if it puts money in their pocket, I don't have a problem with it.
Aaron.
I want to know about the sites that cannot appear in the search engines, recommendation engines. Sorry, regardless of who submits or digs them. Tell me about the what you analyzed there.
We will definitely cover that. But first let's stick with the ads for now and get Jay's opinion. Jay, okay. Tell me something less controversial that won't get my ire up and get me foaming at the microphone. Let's talk about ads.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, this whole thing that they're talking about, commenting on ads and everything, it's, everybody said, hey, Reddit's been doing this for a while. I hate to throw this out there, but so was Mix. I've seen a lot of stuff that Digg has done that they've pretty much taken from Mix. I think this is another thing. On Mix.com for a while, they had this thing called the Sifter. And what they did is all these advertising agencies brought their mock-ups, and everybody could vote on them and then give their feedback. And then that would be the ad that you would see on Mix.com. And that played for a while. That was going on. So, I mean, I think this is another one. I wrote an article a while back, says, I'm in your website stealing your ideas. And, it was Kevin Rose and Jay Adelson was the picture I used. And, they were taking stuff that Mix had already been doing, and everybody says, "Hey, Jay, you're just a Mix evangelist." This is an honest-to-God thing that I've already seen at Mix.com that Digg is now trying to do again.
Oh, I like the pictures at Mix. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Jeez. Nice. That's awesome. On a side note, I want to just because I wanted to point this one out as far as how Reddit has been doing it for a while. This one really caught my attention because this one got 2,800 mixes. Dear Geico, Politics Reddit is giving you free ad space for your boycott of Glenn Beck. And it's a picture of, you click on it, actually goes to geico.com, and it's got, it was just a very clever and original use, and obviously got 544 comments, 2,800 plus upvotes, which, for those who aren't familiar with Reddit traffic, that probably equated to literally about, depending on how long it stayed on the front page, that was somewhere between 40,000 and possibly up close to 100,000 visitors, maybe even more. That they sent to Geico just because they pulled their, they boycotted the Glenn Beck show and pulled their ads from there. On a side note, I thought that was kind of neat. I didn't realize this, and I didn't not intend this, but I'm famous. I'm JD, but my first name is James, and apparently I work at Geico. Or
nice.
Yeah, very nice.
This is awesome. It's amazing what you find on the internet.
Me all the time, except with tweets.
The Gecko.
Yeah,
well, what you're referencing, but with what's Geico doing, I mean, that's like excellent use of capitalizing on something that's a big internet newsmaker with the whole Glenn Beck fiasco, with people pulling support from the advertising on a show and such. I mean, Geico is capitalizing on that, kind of overall internet sentiment, and they wrapped it kind of and packaged it just perfectly for Reddit, because people on Reddit are really, in a sense, more active in the real world of the internet more than Digg, in the sense that users will go out and they'll actually act outside of the site itself. So I think that's a great example that you pointed out.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm doing a comparison between that James Rucker and this James Rucker.
Sorry.
Go ahead. I'm not doing anything important.
I wanted to know if you know the Gecko.
Yes, I am the Gecko.
You are the Gecko.
I am the Gecko.
Nice.
I am green all over, and I have
the walrus as well.
I have a very sophisticated voice.
The walrus as well.
He's very scaly.
Exactly. And Aaron is a Canadian, as we can see on the screen now.
Yes.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Excellent. All right.
Awesome.
So that's good. I think we've exhausted that. So we know that Mix has been doing it for a while, and they did something that sounds really creative. Reddit, in their simplicity, has been doing it as well, and of course they just did it in a simple way. They present it, people talk about it, vote on it, comment about it. I think in Digg's defense, I would like to add though that from their perspective, they to them it is the first time that it's ever been done in the way that they're going to be doing it. and I don't think that they were intending to mislead people or to make them believe that they were any bigger or better than anything else. They were either misinformed, or possibly they really are coming out with something that's unique. So that's the hope, that they have an ad platform that will be user-generated comments where people can talk about it. They can show. It'll be part of the stream, and they'll be able to reach the masses. And I'm hopeful, not because of what they're doing, but just because the site itself, they've always had a little bit of difficulty from a revenue perspective. And if this works, keep in mind, this really could turn into the home run that they've been looking for. This could be the thing that makes them, takes them over the top, so to speak. So back to our video and our illustrious 6'em. Ooh, that's awesome. What is this? That looks like a water cooler. Hold on, let me show the people this.
I haven't seen this yet.
Oh, this is awesome. We have a water cooler with an O kind of going through the water, and the water's not spilling out because the Social Blade shows magic.
This is up for discussion.
Oh, wait a minute.
Awesome.
Is that the Social Blade orifice? I like it.
I love Orify. Beautiful. What was the next question, Jay? Jason, sorry, we have two J's now. I forgot.
Yeah. Well, they weren't really questions exactly. Well, all right. One was on. There was a question actually, I guess, asking about a Digg iPhone app, and basically, are they gonna have one, Oklahoma? And I guess what Jay said, or either Jay or Kevin said, was that they are working on one now because the API changes that they did are making it possible for you to actually write to Digg, and they didn't see it being useful in the past because the mobile version lets you already browse Digg, and you can do pretty much everything there that an app would do.
Oop, sorry.
So
what do you think it would be welcomed?
I'm sure people will download it.
If you'd asked that question, Aaron, a year ago, I would have said, nah, it's not a big deal. But here's the thing. iPhone is huge. Everybody knows that. iPhone apps are getting huger. And it's almost from a novelty perspective, being able to dig from your iPhone without having to go directly to the site and have issues like that. Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty darn popular. And perhaps most importantly, I think from their perspective, they look at it that this is going to be something that will basically enhance their exposure. Anytime that they can get their site in front of other people, even if it's through Apple, the App Store, oh, what's Digg? Let's check this out. Victory for them. Jason, what is that? That looks antiquated.
That is my not iPhone that does more than the iPhone could do. It has had the ability to copy and paste for years and send MMSs and other, and yeah. I don't need an iPhone.
All right, everybody show yours.
My remote control for my DSD TV. Here, wait a minute. Where's mine at?
Does anyone
You're covering me up.
Of all
I'm trying to show my TV remote control over here.
Of everyone in the crowd, does anyone actually have an iPhone on the line here?
I'm sure. Oh, in the line, no. I do not own an iPhone.
Jay, Aaron?
How about a quick poll? Say
G1.
J1. Jay has an
G1 seems to
iPhone?
be a very popular phone.
I'm not a big fan of the G1, but I am waiting for more Android phones to come out. That's what I want to get.
Yeah, I hear Nokia's got a killer Android phone on the way.
You know what, though? If they do
Google Voice.
an app for Digg on the iPhone, it's going to ruin a lot of relationships, like Facebook is.
I think
We'll get
that's
to that,
what we
we'll get
call
to that.
podcasting as a segue.
No, but we're not there. We skipped past the most important question. I wish we had the audio. Are there any other questions, by the way, outside of the iPhone app before we get to the question that sparked my toenails?
Let's go into your question here.
Yeah, that's
Wait, sparked your toenail.
It sparked them. They were sparking.
Nice.
See, that's my spark sound effects. Psst, psst. Okay, high tech. And the best response to the question was next question. That's how Jay started. After he read the question, he said next question. The question was basically Our sites, if a site is auto buried and it can't be recommended and it can't hit the front page, why don't you just ban them? And it's been asked in 50 different ways, 30 different times on town halls, emails, in posts. There have been blog posts about it for years, that there isn't a secret auto bury or blacklisting of websites, that they, regardless of how many sites or how many digs they get, they absolutely positively cannot hit the front page. And I mean, it's relatively, it makes sense, and this was the first time they really truly, I think, acknowledged it. And they didn't acknowledge it. They didn't say, "Oh, there's an auto barrier. There's a blacklisting." What they said is that there are measures. What was the word that they used, Jason? Not measures. They said that there was anti-gaming something or another.
Safeguards.
Safeguards. Yes, safeguards. And that is, from their perspective, and actually from my perspective as well, that's a good way of putting it. They are gamed. Digg is gamed on a regular basis. People try to inflate their dig counts. They
get out.
We're trying to improve Digg all the time. I think so. Yeah, let us know.
I was going to say one of the big things that people have to realize about this stuff that we've built into our algorithm and what we're trying to do going forward with the recommendation engine and improvements to that.
Pause real quick, Jason.
That this is something that we have to continue to tweak and evolve. It's nothing that like we roll it out and we're like, oh, we're done with it and that's the way it's always going to be. It's like we know that there's this fine balance to strike. You know what I mean? You have to be really smart how you're dealing with people that are trying to potentially harm.
That's what I thought, Jay. They're beating around the bush.
Off of their products or ads, whatever they want to get on the homepage. And you have to be fair to everyone else. You have to look for patterns that try and make it, somewhere land in that middle ground where you're not being too hardcore, and you want to make sure that you're getting a unique, diverse crowd of people reading something before we, put it on the front page.
Okay. I'm going to save mine for the end because this is a question that I've been concerned with. I've in a caffeine-induced spurn of rage of tweeting. Yesterday, I think, as a matter of fact, I sent, or maybe it was the day before, I sent Kevin Rose 3 consecutive tweets basically saying, hey, let's talk about this. I'd be happy to go off the record. I just want to know, are sites blacklisted? Why are certain sites not recommended? We've done extensive testing. I've got proof or whatever you want to call it. And they're saying, thank you, baby. And they're saying, I just want to point out real quick before I continue any further that we have upgraded. Oklahoma is no longer a sponsor. They're gone. They couldn't pay the bills, so we have gone with Starbucks. This show is sponsored by Starbucks. Is a 5-shot. Oh, okay, never mind. Who cares? Yeah, again, I'm going to stop right there because I know that Victor's got a lot to say because I don't want him to say anything yet because I want to save him also to the end. And Patrick looks itching. I'm gonna Patrick, tell me how you feel about this. How does this make you feel? How do you roll?
Well, I mean, honestly, as a digger, and not really much as a site owner, it really hasn't been anything that I've worried about. But in the same respect, if I'm trying to find something that has good content, and I know it has good content, and I submit it, and I keep trying to get it to pop, and it won't pop, I'd like to know why. I mean, okay, I understand maybe it got pushed too hard one time or another, but, is that a reason to punish them? I mean, because it's not the same person submitting it over and over again. I could see if it was, Genocide was submitting from whatever the page you pick, day after day after day, and whatever happened, it wouldn't pop. I could see that. That's kind of gaming it, and I did push it the same way. But every day it's like, one day it's Aaron, the next day it's Victor, the next day it's Urgo, the next day it's Jay. Why is it still not popping? They're not treating them the same way I do. Nobody treats them all the same completely. So, I mean, that right there bothers me. And yeah, let them know, hey, just like I see it once in a while, I'll find something and I go to submit it. And don't show that picture. It makes me look fat, please. But There, that's better. That makes me look Wisconsinish. That's fine. I like that one. I go with that one. I'm feeling pretty Hall of Fame with that one there. But anyway, I'm sitting there and you know, I mean, I think it's wrong for them, you know, just to have it where they know it's a fail and it's a waste of time. There are certain sites that when you try and submit it, it'll say, no, you can't submit it because this has been reported as against TOS all the time. I don't know if anyone else has seen that warning. I know I'm not the only one that picks those really cool sites that pop that up, but that should be on all of them that are blacklisted.
I actually created that warning. It was built for me. Jay, I know you are as passionate as it comes to making certain that content is not filtered. How does this make you feel, what they said?
Well, here's the thing, man. We've known it, and as JD says, you know, hey, I've got proof. Like I said earlier in the chat, I think they're beating around the bush. I know it's there. You know it's there. Dude, just go ahead and own up to it. You know what I mean? I mean, it's, you know, quit feeding us this load of crap. I mean, yeah, Digg is in social media or in social news sharing sites the alpha male right now. You know, but you can only be an alpha for so long before somebody chops you at the friggin' knees. And you know, you're caught with your foot in your mouth. I mean, come on, we know what's going on. Cut the garbage. It's time to cut the garbage. You know, just fess up, say, yes, this is what's going on, this is why we're doing it. Okay, cool. But I mean, this garbage, I don't know, dude. I'm trying to save up, man. I'm thinking about a new post for the site.
I can see that.
What's the site again?
Yeah.
What's the name?
Socialmediarage.com.
Oh, so this is perfect. I mean, that's like a perfect situation for that site.
Absolutely. Nice. And here's the thing about it, and you know, we can talk about this later, or I can talk about it now, however you want to do it.
Oh, but, we're going to talk about it later. That's when we want to do it, but definitely want to talk about it.
Absolutely. Well, then I'll kind of pull back for now, right there.
Save the rage.
I'll save the rage for now.
Cool deal, man. Cool deal. Site looks very cool. But back to the issue at hand. You know, I agree with you. I think that for the most part, in terms of addressing JD's question and really analyzing whether or not they answered it, I mean, they kind of danced around, you know, ring around the posy style, just avoiding the real issue at hand, which is acknowledging the fact that there are sites that can be submitted to Digg but aren't capable of getting in the recommendation engine, that fundamentally aren't capable at all of getting a front page. So why would they lull us into some sort of, hey, that's not me? I don't know if I should feel insulted or...
Davey, that's the wrong one. Sure. You have another one, don't you?
Alright, but in any case, back to what I was talking about, you know, I think that the way that they handled the question was very, you know, Digg is a constantly evolving, constantly improving system that sometimes sites do get caught up in the blacklist, and he mentioned that his very good friend Scott Beale's site, Laughing Squid, which is a blog with legitimate content that shouldn't be banned from Digg, somehow was banned for months. And when he found out, I mean, Kevin Rose and Jay Adelson are the first ones to get on the case and rectify the situation. But here's the thing. There are sites that make it onto the blacklist via some sort of algorithmic ban, where if they're, you know, buried as spam or reported to spam enough times, then basically they have to deal with Digg support. They got an email, and some of them honestly just don't have the chance of kind of getting it turned around. And for the most part, some of those sites can't even get submitted to Digg. But of the ones that cannot get in the recommendation engine, what sort of recourse is there? And I'm not talking about Joe Blow's blog started up last month with funny pictures. I'm talking about sites, meaty sites with, in their genre, some of the best content that I think is out there on the internet. Stuff that does phenomenally well on sites like StumbleUpon or Reddit or Mix, that somehow just never have a chance to, you know, go anywhere, you know, Digg-wise. And so to me, it's just give us a straight answer, you know. And I know the reason why they can't, because although they, for as much as they'd love to tell us in a transparent manner what really goes on within the Digg system, they can never really reveal those details, because there's sensitive info that supposedly, in the wrong hands, could be utilized and reintegrated into approach the game Digg more efficiently. And I understand those concerns, but at some point, you really got to just let us know what's going on.
Don't game Digg. I have spoken.
Whoa. Whoa.
Evil JD.
The heck was that? Kevin,
What
are you
was
with
that?
us?
Was that Kevin Rose?
I think so.
Is he the Antichrist? I had no idea.
Well, they were both wearing red.
Ooh, Aaron. And this is the thing. This is what I love about Aaron and Digg. Aaron is learning. For those who don't know, Aaron is an avid social networking user. She is so communicative on Twitter. She knows Facebook inside and out. She knows all these social media sites. She's now starting to get into Digg. But right. I can guarantee you this: of all of the hundreds of people that are watching this show right now, none of you could have told us what color shirts they were wearing. Aaron? Ooh, that's a nice picture of me.
They were definitely both wearing red.
Excellent. We kind of bypassed Jason too. Jason, your thoughts on auto burying or what do they call it again? What's the magic word?
Safeguards.
Safeguards. Spam control.
I think you guys have pretty much already said it, but in general, I would say if they're really if something's supposed to be banned, it should just be flat out banned. I don't like hiding the real, the truth there. I don't think that's right. But I do agree that, they have to have some things in the system to automatically detect.
Absolutely.
If, something bad is going on here. You want to block, obviously, the real spam sites, but then also you really should be fair and have some random site go on if they have good content and not allow APOD going on every single day because people push it or whatever or something, like that. That hits anyway, but that's beside the point.
Sure.
But I think that, yes, they definitely have to have these safeguards, but I don't approve of the way that they do it where they hide it from you. That, something can get submitted and it just sits there and has no chance, but it makes it look like it can be there. Just like, I guess, you were saying Reddit is doing the same thing with your user account you mentioned before. You can submit something, but it has no chance of hitting also. Ghost banning. It's the same type of thing on Digg with ghost submissions now.
Yep.
And it happens on StumbleUpon, and it happens across the board. It's something that's going to happen. Now, those ones, but keep in mind, with Reddit and StumbleUpon, those are based upon users, not necessarily sites. Now, it's not to say that the moderators on Reddit or the StumbleUpon algorithm don't blacklist or ban sites, just like Digg does. I guess what I'm saying, and to be perfectly fair, what they said tonight, what Jay and Kevin said tonight, I admire. I'm very, very happy that at least they admitted there was something, and they were very honest. From what I can tell from the studies or whatever you want to call it that I've done, everything that they said is exactly precisely true. These are safeguards. If a site is getting pushed, if it's getting artificially promoted, if it has, it's getting too many berries, spam berries, they are basically pulling it off to where it's not getting the exposure necessary to get it to the front page. I mean, there's several sites that literally used to hit almost every submission that haven't hit for a year. I mean, literally a year since they hit, and before they were hitting 5, 10, 15, 20 times a month. It's happened recently to some very high-quality sites. So my suggestion, and to be constructive, I guess, is that if a site is, we'll call it safeguarded off the front page to where no matter how many digs it gets, no matter what the diversity, what the range, what's happening, it absolutely positively will not get recommended. At the very least, when somebody submits it, say something to the effect of, this site is whatever. How they'll say that this site has been reported by TOU and it won't let you submit it. Let them submit it, but give a warning. Say this site has basically, this site has been flagged as potential spam. If you are the site owner, please contact us here and let's discuss this further. That would require, of course, they're probably going to get 3 times as many support emails as a result, and they would have to staff up for it. But at least, at the very least, there would be the transparency to say, hey, it looks like your site is being promoted. If you're doing it, then stop. If somebody else is doing it, then we need to investigate and find out. Because right now, bottom line is, you could take a site that's not whitelisted, and if a user were to try to push it, even if it wasn't their site, if they were just to try to push it, they could actually push it to where it won't hit the front page anymore. And they could do this maliciously, if possible. The Digg algorithm will not be able to tell if it's the site owner who's doing it or if it is someone who is maliciously trying to auto-bury a site, so to speak. Kevin, Jay, if you guys are listening, or anybody who is at Digg, welcome to come on the show and discuss this at any time, today, next week, week after that, whenever.
One thing actually I wanted to mention on that you're calling out to Digg here. I don't know if it was because of our show last week, but I was complaining about how the descriptions on the front page of Digg were removed, or you can only see half of them.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much to whoever fixed that, because it looks like within 24 hours of our broadcast, that was changed, and it went back to the full descriptions.
Nice.
Hold on, we have to do
the YouTube thing right too, right? The YouTube thing was also changed.
The YouTube was as well, though for the YouTube, I really don't think it was us. It might have been partly us though, but there was some talk about that going around on Twitter as well, which we posted a story on the site about this.
Let's do a new intro then, real quick. Hold on 1 second. Hello and welcome to Social Blade, where we make changes across social media sites. Okay.
I like that.
Oh, that's catchy.
Nice.
That's catchy.
Yeah, thank you. We make changes. We are the blade that cuts through the BS.
Love that soundboard.
We are working on sounds, by the way. We've got all the visuals in place, as you can see. You know, we have even floating hands over people. That's amazing graphics. But first things first, or last things last. I'd love to talk to you, and I'm going to turn this over to Pat to let Pat get into social media rage, because between Jay and Pat, they have so much to be enraged about. Let's talk rage, guys.
Well, actually, you know, I'm a pretty happy camper, but I got to tell you, let's put the link in here.
Www.socialmediarage.com.
Hold on, wait. We've got to do the proper intro.
All right.
I'm so giddy over this.
Mitch, you can. Anybody who hates Reddit can go to this site and spout out about it. And I'll let Silent. Are we gonna do an introduction?
Yeah.
This is Silent J with Social Media Rage.
Oh, I love that, dude. Can I get
That's
that
awesome.
sound clip
That
later
is
on,
awesome.
man? I really want that.
I love your banner. That's awesome.
The banner is
Yeah,
awesome.
It looks like something from a 4chan drawing, but I mean that as a compliment, though.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Anytime-
It comes from like a rage thread is where that comes from.
Just for
Okay, makes sense.
for
Makes
future
sense.
reference, anytime that we mention 4chan, we mean it out of goodness and quality.
And pure respect.
And total and
Right.
absolute respect. We support everything that you do, oh 4chaners of ours. Now, I will admit, I was a little bit surprised, because when I heard that the blog was called Social Media Rage, I just did not expect to find a doll on the front story.
Yeah.
That threw me off, I have to admit.
That actually happened. I came across that yesterday. I got an email, and it was a friggin' Seth Godin doll. Now, you know, I got no problem with Seth. Good guy, you know, British gentleman, marketing genius. But somebody actually made an action figure out of it, okay? So I was like, wait a minute. You know, Seth actually plays in social media quite a bit. So I'm like, if we're going to make social media action figures, why not do this right? Okay? So, you know, this is I would say this was a rant, not really a rage I got on. I was like, you know, let's have the 1938 media play set with Lauren and Michelle Feldman, complete with a Shell Israel puppet and a camera. You know,
Wow.
I said, let's have the Jason Calcanis with both Taurus and Fondue Calcanis dogs that salivate over everything. And, you know, just simple things like, yeah, Mike Arrington, you know, let's have a Reg in there with like 4 monitors and a beer, you know. People that we actually know in social media and see in social media every day, those are the people that I think, you know, deserve their own action figures, you know, like the Chris Brogren, you know, that kind of stuff.
Well, they did come out with a Genocide 312 action figure with the Kung Fu grip, and it did very well. In certain places, it did very well.
It comes with its own graveyard.
There you go.
That's what it looks like too.
the whole thing behind social media rage, and this is for everybody in the chat. This is for everybody that, you know, we're on the show with right now. Social media rage is a site you can actually go to and say you have something you want to rage about. You can send the post as an email to socialmediarage@gmail.com, and we'll grab it, you know, and we'll put it up there if you want to do it anonymously. Say you don't want your name attached to a certain article, but it's something you want to get out. We'll put it out there like that. If you want an ID to become a Social Media Rage contributor, just email us at socialmediarage.com, and you'll have your own login. Go in there, and you can do whatever you want to. This one thing that you have up right now, this Kill RSS2 Twitter, Kill It With Fire, that actually came from our mailbox, from somebody calling herself Hateful Twitter B. I don't know if I could say that on your show.
No.
But that was an actual
You can tell about us after the show.
Wait. What was it again? Oh, I see it.
What? Yeah. That's
Hateful Twitter bozo. There we go.
If this was Social Blend, I'd be saying it, but you know, it's not my show, so I'm gonna, you know, be cool. But that's the whole premise behind it. It's for social media users. If they see something on the web or something in social media that just really makes them rage, and they want to get it out there, and they may or may not want their name assigned to it, send it to us. We'll put it up. We don't care.
Nice.
Okay, so Jay, you don't sift through and pick which one you think would be more interesting, or do you just post everything?
I'll post everything. I mean, obviously, if it's not, as long as it's not, hey, well, this is how I feel, check out my site. That's obvious spam.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And I'm not posting porn. I'm not going to do that kind of stuff.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, guys. But that's what it's about. You know, it's, you want to get your voice out there. Here's your avenue to do it. You don't even have to be a professional blogger. You can comment on the posts also, you know, create some banter back and forth. So.
Nice. Well, it sounds like a good idea to me.
When did this? When did you come up with this? I know it just started recently. I actually know what day this week it started, but I want you to tell us about it.
We were sitting around on Monday, and we were just talking on IM, and for some stupid reason, this just popped in there, and I bounced it off Greg, and then I started bouncing it off some more people that are in social media. Brian Wallace, he's a contributor. You guys know him as Now Sourcing.
Yeah.
And I reached out to Lauren Feldman. I said, "Hey, Lauren, what do you think about this?" And he goes, "Yeah, that's great." I said, "Well, can I use one of your videos?" He goes, "Absolutely. You know, use what you want to use. You know, I'll throw something out there for you every now and then." I mean, you know, I was like, "All right, cool." So, you know, as Lauren Feldman said, "Yeah, go ahead, use my videos. Thanks for the consideration." So I was like, "Awesome." You know, even though it was a YouTube video, I could have ripped it anyway. But, you know, out of professional courtesy, I like to reach out to people before I start taking their stuff.
You want to talk about the rage, not enrage other people.
Exactly. And Lauren was actually our first post with his Monday Matters number 5. And then it started rolling from there. The word got out on Twitter a little bit. It's we just started reaching out to like different people. As a matter of fact, somebody in the chat right now, and I'm not going to say who, is a contributor. Okay?
Is that Bridget Ayers?
No. Okay. But like I said, everybody's
She
welcome to
doesn't
be a
squat.
contributor. Yeah, everybody's welcome to be a contributor. You know, if you got something you want to say, you know, come on over and say it. So.
Are they on video right now? No.
So we touched
No.
on some of the people that are involved, but some people that I see in there that you haven't mentioned, like Neil Rodriguez and
Yes.
and Joel Mackey.
Yep.
And
Joel Mackey.
there's some
Absolutely.
other
Wow.
people. How did you get tied in with all these people? I know that being on social media as long as you have been,
Right.
you're finding these people about and everything. What made y'all
Right.
decide about it? Tell us that story. The one you told me last night, dude.
The one I told, the G-rated
Yeah.
version.
Well, yeah. I mean, you could go PG-13 even a little bit.
There you go.
Jay, warning: if Urgo starts grabbing his glasses and starts working them on his face, you've gone too far. Okay, just settle down.
Bananas. Bananas.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah. Urgo, I'll be good. You've been on my podcast before, so you know how crazy I can get. But no, Neil, absolutely. Neil was very interested. He's like, yes. He goes, I'm definitely going to do, you know, maybe a video or two for this. And a lot of people that I reached out to was like, yes, I want to contribute. But, you know, therein lies the thing is like, I don't know if I'm going to have time to do it every week. And I'm like, here's the thing. You don't have to contribute every week. It's when it hits you, when the rage hits you and you want to get it out there. That's all it's about. So, you know, me and Joel were talking about it. Joel was like, this is awesome. I'm definitely down. You know, Neil Rodriguez says, yes, man, I definitely, he said, can I do videos? I said, yes, you can do videos. You can do whatever you want to. And it's just a multi-collaborative effort. That's, you know, that's what it is. And I'm not going to say, you know, I'm the driving force, because I'm not the driving force. Me, Greg, and Brian just set up the site. The driving force is going to be the people that want to get in there and just, you know, rip it up. You know, as Gary Vaynerchuk would say, just crush it. So that's what it's for.
I think it's a great idea, personally, here.
Yes.
I might submit something myself sometime in the future, because I got some things I got to rage about.
There are times I can't go through my freaking IM for 10 minutes without wanting to rage at somebody. I don't even want to get into it, but just to be honest with you, there's plenty of people out there that get banned from Reddit, and I know they want to talk about it, and they're fired up about it, and they even write blog posts about it. Bringing it to you, would that be a good idea?
Oh,
I mean,
dude.
'cause this is where people are gonna come see stuff like that. That's what they're kind of expecting. Reddit, that type of stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what it is. And somebody reached out to me yesterday, and they were like, "Man, I love this idea." He goes, "I'm not sure how to touch on this though." He goes, "I just wish India would change their IM scripts from hello friend, hello friend, hello friend."
Yeah.
Your
friend, mate, can you please dig this and share the story with your mother, father, sister, and dog? That would be really appreciated.
Yeah, that kind of stuff, you know. And I was like, well, hey, do you want the anonymous login and go for it? You know, that's what it is. So
nice.
But yeah,
well, even that portion doesn't bother me. When I get stuff like that, okay, they're going on a format of other people. There's other IM protocols that are you just don't do, and you don't spam out to everybody, because there's people that need to work and help others, but they got to do it incognito, invisible, and then they're getting, dude, I know you're there, dig this for me. All you can do to just keep quiet.
Right.
I mean, I can't say what I do.
You know, I can actually probably recommend a bunch of writers for this, because we see this all the time. People get upset, and this site can actually be turned into, not that it already isn't. It's blowing my mind just reading this stuff. I love how Joel Mackey, and Joel is so brilliant sometimes. He's ranting here about, you're not a social media expert, you idiot, and only Joel will include himself in his rant. He's ranting about himself. I love it.
That's awesome. No, he makes some good points though. I did read that one as well.
Yeah,
so
that's great.
you know, Joe, I think as long as I'm trying to use Digg, I'll probably be able to contribute here and there for this thing as well.
It's still Jay, by the way.
I'm sure.
For those who don't know,
I mean, another name that could be called is social media psychologist.
Well, there you go. There's one for you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting it off my chest. I'm telling somebody, so I don't drive 3 states away and pee on someone's dead dog.
Oh no.
Well, something Urgo brought up last night. Me and Urgo and Patrick were talking, and JD. And Urgo, you brought this up, and we are working on this, is to make it easier to people to realize what the site is up there in the header. Because all you see up there in the header, if you look at who we are, then that explains what it is. We're going to make it more prominent to say, this is for you, you know, Ray John, submit your posts here, you know.
Yeah, definitely. That when I went to the site for the first time, I honestly thought it was okay. It's just it's another blog, but when you told me about it, it's like, wow, that's really a great idea. So yeah, absolutely, it needs to definitely have either a better header or something on the right side.
We're working on a new header right now.
Excellent.
I really like this site because it's almost like the Twitter for bloggers. I find because you can just submit what you want to say instead of having your own blog and having to spend all that time. Just spit it out, and then send it your way, and then you'll put it up for them. Do you add the pictures, or do they?
They'll generally add the pictures. I mean, we can take it in like an open doc format, Word document format. However, you can actually do this, guys. Say you want to have an anonymous surname or whatever, a pen name. You can email socialmediarage@gmail.com and say, hey, I'm so-and-so, I want to do this. Can I have a login, and can you make it an anonymous login? We're going to keep everybody's identity 100% secret because we don't want to get that out. You know, if somebody wants to get out there and say something and it could professionally hurt them, we don't want to be responsible for them being professionally hurt at all. So that way, you know, we'll give you a login, you know, and it'll be a contributor login. You can go in there, write your complete post or whatever. We'll go back, take a look at it, approve it. Bang, it's up. It's that quick.
So do you have a certain amount of characters, or does it matter?
No, it can be. I mean, look at Joel Mackey's post. Joel had actually written that post a while back, and he's like, "Hey, can you put this up and maybe breathe new life into it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah. Well,
So
Joel's a
put that
character,
up,
so.
and, yeah, Joel and Greg had actually written the Social Media is a Myth post, and that's a pretty long post itself as well. I looked on TweetMeme today, and on TweetMeme, both of those posts have actually done pretty well. So I was kind of happy about that. You know, it was like retweeted 27 times. One of them was. I was like, well, hey, that's cool. You know, I can definitely deal with that. So, but yeah, I mean, Joel was, you know, 100% about it. Problem with Joel is like when I log on, he's going to bed, and I don't know what his deal is because he's like up till like 5 in the morning in California, and I'll log on to Twitter and I'll send him a DM. I'm like, dude, I'm awake, and he goes, all right, man, I'm going to bed. So it's like I got to give him his go to sleep call every morning.
He didn't want me to tell you this, but he does it on purpose.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm alive. He's right under its rock.
Jay, we actually have someone else on the line here who wanted to ask you a question. We got Frost on the line here.
Former mixer in the house.
Oh, what's up, Mr. Frost? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. What's up, man?
Dude, I wanted to know, what do you think? Do you think Mix is going anywhere? Honestly, just do you think that they need to change to like a Digg format where they have a consistent front page that is updated daily instead of their, you know, their front page is nice, but let's be honest. The fact is it sends no traffic, and until it sends traffic, not many people are going to use it because they want, when someone submits something to a site, they want to know that it has the potential to be seen by an audience. And with Mix, it's just been proven that there's not much of an audience.
Right. And I mean, dude, I mean, I've got to agree with the numbers, and I got to agree with you. I would love to see Mix go somewhere, because here's the thing. The thing about Mix is they actually listen to their users, and they have listened to their users from day one. And that's something that I have not been able to really get out of Reddit and Digg. I want to see Mix succeed, and I know for a fact that Chris McGill and the rest of the Mix crew are busting their butt to try and make it succeed. I want to see it. I definitely want to see it happen. But, you know, I mean, I'm looking at the numbers, and man, it's heartbreaking. You know, it really is. I think it's got potential, but I mean, I can't guarantee that it's gonna, you know, outlast Digg. I'd love to see it, but
Yeah, well, we touched base on that last night. Hang tight, Mark. Don't leave yet. We touched base on it last night that that Mix is sort of like the Special Olympics of social media. No matter what you do, you always win.
Mark, you're a lot older than I thought you were.
That's like a computer generated what I will look like when I'm that age.
Nice.
CNN did a whole thing on me. You know, it's not a big deal.
The Special Olympics of social media, Pat?
Well,
I never really thought about it.
And yeah, as Patrick was saying, it's like, you know, there's not much of a challenge. Anything that you push can pop. You know, but you're not going to get as many page views as you would as like having a front page on Digg. But you know, page views spike and then they go away. The thing is sustainable traffic. I mean, Digg isn't sustainable traffic. You know, you'll get a front page of Digg, you know, your servers are going to take a hit, and then, you know, next couple of days you might see an increase, but it's going to go back away again. You know, I don't see anything unless you're like a real hardcore website having super sustainable traffic. But you know, I know people, that's what they're after. They're after traffic. I want my stuff on the front page of Digg. I want my stuff on the front page of Reddit. I want high stumbles on this page. And you know, they produce more traffic. I mean, they do. But I would love to see Mix succeed, because I mean, they've got a great crew back there. They've got a good business model, but at the same time, I think that everybody was still concentrating on Digg more than they were Mix. And a lot of people that got shunned by Digg did go to Mix for a while.
Oh, I did.
Oh, yeah.
When Cracker Pack got banned, that's the first place I went running.
Yep, and I mean, I would love to see more traffic happen there, man. I really, really would. What are they going to do about it? I don't know. I'm not Chris McGill, and I'm not Kerry Parkins. I don't know what they're going to do about it. But I know that that crew busts their butt harder for a community than I've seen any other social media site ever do for their community.
Wait, did you say you're not Chris McGill?
Yeah.
I thought...
Or Kerry Parkins.
This is shocking to me.
Wait a second. I thought...
Well, maybe
Pat,
you can get him onto the show, and we could have an intervention and maybe have some constructive criticism from the people in the crowd and so on and so forth, and see which way we can help them.
See if we can have
I'm sure if you wanted to reach out to Chris McGill, see McGill at mix.com and invite him on, I'm sure he would definitely do it. I mean, Chris is a really good guy.
Will he take the hard questions, though?
Is Mix down now?
No, this is what happens if Mix does go down.
That's Zach. That's a picture of Zach when they are down and they're doing server.
Nice.
Zach, that baby you guys are looking at right now, I actually did a piece on that kid on the Mixing Bowl on mixingbowl.com. Zach is the son of Kerry Parkins, and Kerry is like second in command at mix.com. So that's her son.
Oh, adorable.
Oh wow, Mix is just the cutest thing ever.
You know, I said I was never going to cry. I wasn't going to ever cry on the show, but this is awesome. Now,
this is one of those times.
Back to what you're
so fast.
Back to what you were saying earlier. Did you? Never mind. I'm not even going to go there. That's going to be way off. All right. Just if we do get Chris on, just remember it's not the Special Olympics. We're gonna. Hey, I love Mix.
Okay,
just
enough.
FYI, just in my own defense, so that I can separate myself from any jokes. I love mix. I think that the mix community is the strongest out there. People talk to each other, they help each other. It is, you know, it's just tough to get involved sometimes when you have just that little traffic. Real quick, I wanted to...
Hey, let me get my cell phone and call Tammy to ask you to bring some toilet paper to take care of that for you real quick.
I need preparation H, actually. Excuse me. I'm going to, if possible, just so we can cut it off in an hour, I'm going to go ahead and close the show out, but then we'll have a second show, not the after show, because I do want to, we skipped out on everything, and I don't want to pass up on a couple of those big stories. If you guys don't mind, it's your show. I'm just,
all good.
I just got the buttons that I push. Beautiful.
Well,
all right.
Let's if we want to talk about the stories, let's quickly go through the stories.
Well, then we're going to go over the hour. You're the one who always says don't go over the hour. It's all about the hour. Shh.
Well, he has to upload it to YouTube. So.
That's true. All right, fair enough. Well, let's let's go ahead and talk about the stories. It's Urgo's world. I just live in it. And for those who don't know, this is Urgo. All right, let's find the stories. Go back to it. And by the way, real quick, Jay, why don't you go ahead and tell us, before we get to those stories, tell us one more time about your website, as well as... Moon's over my hammy. Website, as well as the your show.
Okay, I host a weekly podcast called Social Blend. Show number 80 is coming up Monday night. We're going to be recording that. And socialmediarage.com. Got something you want to rage about? Give us a shout. Socialmediarage@gmail.com. We'll put it up for you.
Right. Sounds great, man. I'll definitely check it out for sure. No doubt.
I think I'll be a patient there.
Why?
It's great. It's great to read. That's for sure.
And you can catch all our Social Blend episodes at social-blend.com.
Excellent. And all those will be in the show notes, I'm sure, as soon as we're done with the show. Now, speaking of the show, on with the show.
Mark Frost, if you're still there, thanks for calling, buddy, and hang tight if you're still there. Jay, thanks for being our guest this week and talking about your wonderful website.
Dude, I love it, man. And I tell you what, man, we need to get some of you guys on our show. Absolutely. I know, JD, we've talked about it before, never have scheduled it. Urgo, you've been on. Mm-hmm. So, you know, love to get Victor, Aaron, Patrick, you know. I'd love to have you guys on sometime.
Wait, and there's beer, right? If I'm not mistaken, there is beer on the show.
Yeah. And our show isn't really G-rated or PG-13. So if you got anything you want to say on the blend, let it fly. You know, that's...
Get the rage out on Monday night.
Exactly.
I'm actually kind of camera shy.
I'll definitely hit you up about it. That sounds like fun.
Oh, dude, I'd love to have you guys.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you coming on.
Oh, I appreciate the invite, and you guys take care. It's been great. I'm going to go to bed because the life of a infrastructure analyst sucks at about 5 in the morning. So,
well, before we do, after we log out, I got some breaking news.
Okay.
Wait, what? Is that a cue for me to do something?
Around.
Okay, so does he stay or...
it's legitimate breaking news.
Do you want to bring it up now, or do we wait?
All right, well, the one, they're both sort of sports related. One of them is Michael Phelps was involved in a car accident this evening. I don't know how bad he was hurt. Michael Phelps, the Olympic gold medalist pot swimmer. And then, and Michael Vick is now an Eagle.
No way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Way.
I'm going to be in Philadelphia next week.
We need to get Donovan McNabb on the show and see what he thinks about this all.
Jason, what was that? Nobody got to see that, luckily, but what in the world was that?
Just some friends of mine.
Okay, excellent.
Michael Vick is an Eagle. Oh,
I can't believe that he's an animal after what he did, but okay.
Ooh, see, that's what I love about Aaron. That's a great observation. No one else in this room, of the hundreds of listeners...
Nice fun, Aaron. Very good.
Of the hundreds of listeners that we have, nobody would have made the observation.
On board. Oh, nice.
That's awful. What's he going to do to the
Well,
Eagles?
at least he knows he won't be beating the Eagles unless he's throwing too many interceptions.
They'll be beating him. Oh, I can't wait. I'm going to be in Philadelphia next week, so I'm gonna do a live or at least recorded version of what do you think of Michael Vick being a Philadelphia Eagle?
Wow.
He should have been a Packer. But
are you gonna do like on the street interviews with people?
Yeah, I can do that.
That'd be awesome.
Will you wear your Burger King head?
Wear your king costume. The king.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to talk about that on the show. It's a secret. On to the show.
Not anymore.
I mean, it doesn't make sense though, because Donovan McNabb is more than enough QB for that team. So why do they need Vic backing him up? It sounds kind of weird.
I think Vic's probably going to be
weird.
He'll be a receiver. He'll be slash. All right.
That could be one thing to look at, but it also could be Donovan McNabb doesn't have 3 more years left in him, in my opinion. He might.
He does.
Well,
He does.
I mean, he's a running quarterback, and now he's delegated to pretty much pocket passing. And, Michael Vick's still a young man.
Yeah, but
Wildcat is right.
Philadelphia doesn't run the Wildcat, though. I mean,
no, neither did Miami until they brought in Chad Pennington and had Ronnie Brown.
I don't call the Philadelphia Eagles running the Wildcat at all. I mean, it's just not their style.
Again, I gotta agree with you, Victor. I gotta agree with you. You're absolutely right there.
This episode of Social
I
Blade
don't know what
Show
their attempts are.
brought to you by ESPN, the Pat and Victor, Mike and Mike show. Where we talk about sports and everything that is sports related. So how about them Cowboys? All right,
on
with
better on to
Aaron.
move on to a different relationship besides besides Vic and the Eagles. Facebook is threatening relationships. There's been a study in Canada. Do I get my Maple Leaf this week?
Oh shoot!
You might.
I don't have any. I don't have any Canada graphics to. Okay, I'll make one while you're talking.
He replaced him with Wayne Gretzky.
Keep talking. I'll make up a.
I'm representing.
Aaron, maybe I'll give you an igloo this week.
Oh yay! I don't know. I find it strange that Facebook, but these days people are going to the internet for relationships, so it's not a real shocker that it could be ruining relationships at the same time. There was a study in Guelph, Ontario.
Where?
With college students. Guelph, Ontario, in Canada. That's up north. There was a query with college students who were in romantic relationships about their Facebook use. Their findings, described in the journal Cyber Psychology and Behavior, suggest that rather than enhancing communication between the two partners, Facebook use may be fueling wild flights of jealous investigation as users in relationship receive hints of potential infidelity, and scramble to find evidence of a partner's unfaithful thoughts or of behavior. That's brought to you by the Chicago Tribune. I find it amazing that they pick on the Facebook users. I want to see their studies on the Digg users and the Twitter users, since that's easier to access through your phone and soon Digg. Facebook is it takes more time to kind of use through your phone, so I don't know. I can see someone on a date trying to dig a story. What do you guys think?
God, I hope nobody goes out on a date and starts digging.
You know what?
You never know.
It's been done before.
I can see it, like if you're on a blind date and you're like, holy cow, what was this? Well, hang on a second, I gotta take care of some business.
You just pull out the phone and say, hey, I'm just checking my email. Why be hating? And just get a couple digs in here and there. No biggie.
Dean's done it. The dude Dean says he's done that.
Been there,
Have
done
you
that.
really, dude?
I would believe it.
He digs
24/7, brother. Would do it. What is going on here with the mask?
That's Silent J. He's silent. That's how he stays silent.
Oh, very nice. It does what it's told.
What gets the hose? All right, continue.
It submits the story.
or it gets buried.
He's been buried.
Yeah,
Jay
right.
has been buried.
I think this one is right up Urgo's alley. I didn't read it, so Urgo, tell us about how YouTube is now bigger than MSN.
It's just.
It's
I
bigger.
kind of thought it was kind of a weird comparison, comparing the size of YouTube with MSN, because quite honestly, I thought MSN wasn't even really a big site anymore now that it's switched over to Bing or whatever what they call themselves these days. But
Bing!
I don't know. It just really shows that the video sites as well as Digg, both the sites had a big increase over the past several months here, and it just shows really that people are really switching to this type of media.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But MSN, your sound effects with your mouth are great. I don't know why you're going to invest any time in getting any others. But MSN Messenger is still around. So that's what I think they're comparing is YouTube and Messenger, MSN Messenger, not Bing.
Bing!
So yeah, it's amazing how YouTube's gone up, especially in the summer months, because usually right now they're normally lower than average, and same with other social media sites, including MSN. But YouTube seems to be rising. We had talked briefly about Facebook, but I want to quickly go back there because Facebook recently, and I'm sure we all heard about it and kind of sick of hearing about it, but we have to touch a little bit on it. Paid nearly $50 million for Friendfeed.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. What do you think?
It's just really their way of getting in. They tried to buy Twitter a while ago. Twitter wasn't having any of it, so this is, I guess, the next best thing for them, I guess. But JD, I never really used Friendfeed. What exactly is Friendfeed anyway?
It is Friendfeed is a site that I am on. What I do is I feed my friends with it. It's it's a gourmet food site where you can actually you take your friends there and they have gourmet hot dogs, recipes, and they get fed on Friendfeed. Facebook bought them because
I'm wondering.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. It's not like I was talking.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so no, what I wanted to know was, is Facebook going to keep Friendfeed as is, or are they going to change that to Facebook Lite, or are they going to have Friendfeed and Facebook Lite? Because they're saying that Facebook Lite is coming out, and it's going to be very, very similar to Twitter, so it's going to be a huge competitor there. Do you think it'll be, or do you think Twitter will outrank them still?
Twitter.
I prefer the Facebook Lite. I definitely don't think it's gonna succeed over Twitter. Twitter already has that market. There's been other sites that have tried to come, including Digg, that tried to compete with it. Facebook already has its wall, and the status is there. But I mean, I don't. I guess they got to try. They're losing traffic to people that want to just post updates on Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening.
And to be honest, Urgo, I think Facebook got them at a really low pricing point, because if you look at how much they bought them for, $50 million, I think $35 million of that was stock in Facebook, 20 and 15 in cash, or 25 in cash. Never mind, 20 in cash. So in any case, I think it works in Facebook's favor because, one, they get the next best thing next to Twitter, like you said. Two, there's a lot of overlap. If you had to pick two services to overlap between who uses Friendfeed and what other service they use, that would be Twitter. And there's some pretty deep linkages between people who are really into Twitter and people who are really into Friendfeed, being people who are who do spend a lot of time in social media, that take advantage of the fact that they can subscribe to not just publications, but individuals on Friendfeed. They can share pictures. I mean, it's the sharing modules in Friendfeed are pretty much unlimited. You can share videos, pictures, links, RSS feed stuff, whatever. And it's pretty robust in the sense that no matter how you use it, it lets you get a direct link to what's really going on in your world, what you're really up to. And so I think that that's something that Facebook has been trying to integrate with the revamped approach to the status, and with the way that they let people interact, post, and share knowledge and information. I think Friendfeed's going to play an instrumental role in allowing them to further develop those systems. So I think it's a really smart move on Facebook's part.
I think it is too, because, as to quote Urgo, to play the devil's advocate, Facebook users, there's tons of them, and they're pretty loyal to Facebook. A lot of people stay and stick with Facebook instead of Twitter. And most people who love Twitter only use Facebook perhaps to just poke. So basically what I'm going to say is that if they do change it to Facebook Lite and they make it a Twitter type feel for those already using Facebook, which is millions of them that don't use Twitter, it could be a great competition there and a great topic to talk about in the future.
Is it going to be something that's a completely different site, or
well, here's the thing:
how does it actually connect with Facebook in general?
Let me answer that.
They're rumoring Facebook Lite, right?
Yeah. Well, here's the definitive answer. Friendfeed kind of links up your Twitter, Facebook, Yelp, and you can forget it. I can't explain. Oh, damn. Damn it. Okay, wait. No, there's more. How about a social presence aggregator combined with participation? That's exactly okay. We got something. If you need to know what Friendfeed is, just go to Twitter and ask, because people will respond, apparently.
You can pretty much do that with anything on there. I mean,
okay. Well, let's
ask a question. Yeah.
Let's do a test. Let's go to Friendfeed and see if I can ask them what Twitter is. See if they respond to that. How's that? How about them apples?
Sure.
Okay.
Continue with the discussion. We're doing a live experiment. Live experimentation of social media domination with circumcision and abbreviations and the Special Olympics, all wrapped up in one show. Can't beat that. Hold on, Friendfeed. I just hope I remember my password. Continue. Pretend like I'm not even on the screen. Here, wait. Let me change the camera view.
Wait, he's not on the screen. We don't have to pretend.
No, I meant pretend like you can't see what I'm doing on the screen, Aaron.
Okay. No, to answer Urgo, yeah, that's what I think they're going to do. Because as soon as they bought Friendfeed, they came out with this report via Mashable, basically about Facebook Lite. Without giving too much information, they did ask Facebook users to participate and see if it's gonna, I guess, take off or not. And there was a few snapshots as well of the pages that Mashable showed. So you go there and check that out.
Excellent. So was it worth the $50 million? That's the question. Ooh, I remember my Friendfeed. Okay, wait.
Probably not.
Switch cameras. This is Friendfeed.
This is Friendfeed.
Wait, so Aaron, you felt that it wasn't worth it for Facebook to acquire?
I think it was worth it.
Oh, no, I think it was worth it for Facebook. I just don't think it was worth the $50 million.
Oh, no, you're right, and that's what I mean, is I think that they got him at a steal. Because if you look at the overall $6 billion valuation of their stock, like they did with the last valuation with their employees, I mean, $50 million is a drop in the bucket to acquire a service that could potentially just revamp the way that we even think about and use Facebook in the next few years. So I think it's a great deal.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to steal Twitter users, because like Twitter don't they have like a link with Friendfeed?
And people sign up for Friendfeed, they can automatically subscribe to everyone they follow on Twitter in seconds. So.
I think it's a good...
And I mean, it's the pure users that they were going after, I think. Because Friendfeed has a shitload of users, even if they might not be active. That's a huge potential user base that they could bring over to Facebook.
Somebody delete Mark. I think he used a curse word.
It's definitely worth a shot, but I just don't see it actually working in the long run.
Drop Mark.
Yeah, it's worth a shot.
Mark is a potty mouth.
Can we be at this point? Or are we still?
It was on CNN. Don't drop me.
Yeah, no, I don't know, guys.
I
think we might have covered everything here.
Wait, we're doing it live.
Anything else you want to bring up on this topic?
I'm finding out what's happening. I'm asking Friendfeed what Twitter is, because Twitter was able to tell us what Friendfeed was in about 7 or 8 responses. Now we're checking to see if Facebook or Friendfeed. All right, let's just end the show. You're right. All right, and that.
Well, while you're doing that, wrap up here then, and just let's just quickly tell everyone where we can be found, I guess, here.
Ooh, this is going to be fun.
Yeah. So, Victor, since you spoke up first, where can people find you?
Well, today is it's a national holiday. It is the midnight release later on tonight of Madden 2010, which I'm an avid fan and player of, so where I can be found in the next 12 to 24 hours will be on Xbox Live. And if anybody wants to get owned, they can hit me up on Twitter at VTBrer.
All right.
Nice. He's waiting to say that all night.
How about Aaron? Where can we find you?
Well, I don't know how to follow that up. You can find me in an igloo in Newfoundland, Canada. Also on Twitter as @FreeYouTuber2, and Thursday nights right here on Ustream Social Blade Show.
All right. Mr. Patrick.
Well, as always, you can find me in the Digg graveyard. I'm all over the place in there. I'm one of the many Digg zombies now, and have I come back to life? No, I'm not going to, but I do help people daily. To have myself visible on G-Talk is kind of a moot point because I'm banned on Reddit, Stumble, Break, and Digg, so I'm pretty much useless. So I get hit up for stuff all the time. All I do is just give advice right now on teaching people on how to dig and where to start and what direction to take their stuff in.
Excellent. JD, what about you? Where are you hiding these days on the web that we can uncover?
What do you mean?
Wow.
This is a whole nother show right here.
Right.
JD is not amused.
What are you saying?
To tell the people where they can find you, JD.
They can't find me. They'll never find me. All right? The FBI has been trying, the CIA, everybody. But Scobalizer found me, and Scobalizer did have a response. Scobal being the green guy here. He says, Friendfeed is a real-time aggregator, conversation platform, and search engine wrapped into one.
Wow. That's a pretty concise explanation, actually.
For
140 characters.
Yes, I'm impressed. So you will find me. Actually, you just won't find me.
Respond from Scobalizer. That's where we can find you.
Responding to Scobalizer. Jason, where can we find you?
You can find me, of course, on Twitter as well, under the name First Digg, all spelled out. Yeah. And if you want to try, look for someone driving a truck down from New York to North Carolina next Thursday. That'll be me as well.
Now, Urgo, will you be doing like a little contract with Google to like attach all the cameras, do like a little studio action? Or
that would be cool. I will have my camera. Maybe I'll record something from the road. But I'm not that cool. Google doesn't let me do the street view. They don't trust me with those cameras yet.
Dude, you gotta go down 301 so we can hook up and have Grand Slam, which is on the East Coast.
I still have to find where 301 is, so we'll see.
It's a permanent redirect.
It's not off the beaten path, dude. It might be the choice of the way to go. Search it on your GPS. That's the way to go.
Will do.
And that, my friends, is a wrap. Please join us every Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern. If you're in Central, I have no idea what time it is, so just translate that into Eastern and Pacific. Every Thursday night, we will be missing one person next week, and we will replace that person, and he will never come back. Thanks to
what about Australian time? What time is it in Australia?
In Australia, it is Foster's time. Not because they actually drink Foster's. It's actually an insult. So don't ever say anything about Foster's to an actual Australian. They'll be like, it's kind of like the Keystone Light of Australian beer. Not the Keystone is bad, but I mean, okay. Good night.
Hey, Keystone's okay. Good night.